One, two, three, boom.
Okay.
Continue. Hold on. Please ask host to give you permission to record. Rob, you need to give me permission to record.
How do I
I don't know. It said I push record and then it says please ask the host to give you permission to record. So I guess it's up to you to record, my friend, not me.
well, that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Um well, I guess I'm recording this on my own. Hopefully it works.
Okay.
If it doesn't, we'll have to just do it again.
That's right. All right, let's do it.
Okay. So this is my first trial at uh a uh, um a show, and it's going to be, first off, my name is Rob Ryan, and this is the first episode of my show. It's going to be me talking to old friends, people that have inspired me over the years, and stories that what they're up to, my history with them, and then as the episodes go, if this ends up going somewhere where I'm enjoying doing it, then I will start just having whoever wants to come on or have questions. But um, there's no limitations and topics. So yeah, let's start. This is an old friend of mine, Gabriel Ramos.
That's right. Robert Ryan, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Just I'm happy, and I feel special to be the first one. I mean, we don't know if this will go
I mean,
somewhere, but
it took several mistakes for you to be the first one. I mean, like,
yeah, because I think I was lined up to be like the number 20 something, and then out of the clue, everybody just fell on you. So here we are, right?
Here we are. It worked out well for you. It worked out well for you.
It did. You know what? I've been blessed. I've been blessed. It's all right. Can't complain.
So first off, like, how do we meet each other? Like, what do you remember?
Oh my God. Okay, so let's see. We met at the movie theater, Regal Cinemas in Vancouver, Washington. Man, many years ago, bro. I don't have the specific year, but I know it was several years ago when we met.
What do you remember about it? Like, what do you remember about that era?
Um, okay, first of all, it was really weird because I was the only Latino. I mean, the second Latino in the entire movie theater, because we know for a fact the first one was a good friend of us, Juanita.
Juanita, yeah.
And I was really shy and intimidated because it was a bunch of white people everywhere. So that's always kind of scary. But no, I mean, I ended up clicking just fine. I mean, I was just trying to stay mellow, just get my boundaries low and all set up, good to go. And here, then you show up out of the nowhere, and for a reason, you have some Latino blood inside you, bro. We know that for a fact. So that's why everything pop up.
Yeah, I remember it was I always remember the dates of stuff. I think you started, I want to say, around February or March of 2001.
Okay. Did anyone introduce us, or
No,
or?
I don't think so. I think you started, and I remember you were really quiet, and I had heard somebody said that you had a temper, and that you were like really serious. And so like I never had any problems with you. Like, me and you would both, like, I was quiet too, unless I kind of was starting to know you, then I'd talk a little bit more.
Right, right.
And I think at some point, I think we both kind of realized that we, like, because you were more like, if you weren't a good worker, don't talk to me. That's kind of like your attitude was there, if you
Oh,
remember.
is that what it was? Is that what
Yeah,
your
you were
feeling
like,
was?
you're like, I don't want to be around lazy people, and you really.
You know what? No, but hold on. I think there is an explanation here. Now, if you step in my shoes for a second,
Uh-huh.
okay, I'm the new guy.
Uh-huh.
I'm the only Latino on the usher position because we know that Juanita was in concessionist.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, did I said that right? Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. See, so for me to just be in the middle of damn many people that I didn't know about and see that you guys are getting along so good, it was really intimidated. So somehow I needed to step up and no show some attitude, but I needed to step up and somehow and just show you guys like, hey, don't mess with me because I'm here. Like I can hear you or something. Even so, I will not hurt you, but I was trying to show some attitude just to have some backup, dude. I was like a little Nemo swimming in the shark pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at somehow I needed to just bring some macho man up, chase up and just kind of like show some attitude. But inside of me, I've been always friendly, and that was kind of intimidated, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I like no, obviously once me and you started talking like small talk, and it first started, like me telling thought you were a really good worker. I was like, this Gabe guy's a really good worker. And so
Right.
like if it was like just a couple of us on a weekend day or an evening, I was like happy you were working because I knew you would get stuff done. Because I
Right.
was
We will
really
get things done. Exactly.
like, don't get me wrong, I was sarcastic at the movie theater, but that came more later. Like I think early on I was really quiet. I've been told this. I was really quiet and I kind
Well,
of had
I
that.
guess we both opened up as the time went by. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then it went at the point that we're like, okay, we end up clicking. Like, okay, this guy is a hard worker, and it's weird because he's white, right? But
Yeah,
hey,
very
I
rare
mean,
for white people to be hard
but for a
workers.
reason, he's a little different. So why not? Let's try. And actually, I think dude, we were kicking butt. We were just kicking ass. I mean, I can guarantee that it was like us competing against another small group of ushers in the movie theater. We were just gonna smoke the crap out of them. We were just hustling. We were just owning our duties.
Well, as soon as you got like a little more comfortable, you started making jokes and like it was just, endless, dude. Me and you making the Latino jokes.
Yes, yes.
And you were the one that started that when you'd come in the building, and as soon as you saw me, like it'd be like across the lobby or whatever, you'd stop you'd yell for me, and then you'd put up the L. And then
That's right.
you told me, you explained to me that I was supposed to return that at all times. So
Right,
I would have, whatever's going on, I'd stop and I'd return the L for
right.
and
Which I find out later on that actually it means loser. Well, when you put it in your forehead,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then it means loser. And then I was like, oh crap! So I was just showing the L like to everyone.
Well, there was someone we were training one time that we showed them the L, and they did that to us. They went like this,
Right.
and I go, whoa, 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 and then we made the threat.
You need to show some respect, you punk.
Yeah, we made the threat that new workers disappear all the time. There's a garbage compactor, and
That's right. We were always
and
telling people that.
the GM thinks that they just walked off the job, but people disappear.
Right. Yeah, for a reason. It was just really mysterious when people just disappeared in the movie theater. That's right. That's right.
And then I remember, I remember somebody telling me like that don't ever make mom jokes to Gabe, and
Oh
I
my
was like,
God, yes.
yeah, and I was, I was like, like what like if that's what he wants, don't make mom jokes with him. Like what's the big deal? Like he has his,
Right.
and
Rob, in the some people doesn't know, but there is just it's part of the culture. Like
I
you
know I've
cannot
heard it from other people. Yeah.
you cannot mess with a Mexican telling jokes about the mom just because when you mention the mom and then that's it, you went into the next level. You're asking for something more physical. You actually are willing to just go for it. And I guess it's just like black community. You won't say the N word to them because it's something. Um, yeah, it's a trigger. It's just like you pull the trigger, and then that's it, right? Now the white people, I don't know. I mean, you guys doesn't get offended for. I mean, do you? Do you get offended for any reason? If there is like a word or
Yeah,
a term or something?
white people. I don't know if there's a specific term, but they're like, I don't know. There's like this sensitivity with anything that criticizes history. Like,
I guess. I
you know what
mean,
I'm saying? It's like anything that criticizes the history of
yeah,
like
or like
white
the
dominant
flag.
culture. It's like,
Don't miss with the flag of the United States of
yeah, don't
America.
do this, don't do that, and it kind of,
Right.
I don't
I
know.
guess there will be so every culture has, something. I guess the Asian culture or Japanese culture, Chinese culture will be, I don't know, just smushing some of those fortune cookies, you know, um,
I
from
don't know if
Panda Express. I mean, if you smooch those, and then you can get in trouble with the Chinese people. But otherwise, man, everyone has something, and I remember there was a guy who was constantly making jokes about mom, and I never say anything to him.
was it the
But
security
when
guard?
I don't know, I mean,
Yeah, I remember him. He was
I,
you knocked the drink out of his hand. Is this the same story where he made a mom joke about you and
I
you
think
punched
so,
the drink out
because
of his hand?
that was like something that it kind of bothered me when they say something about my mom. So he was like right in front of me, and he was to take a sip. He was about to just take a sip of a drink. So I was just like, boom, just throw like a hand on him,
Yeah.
not to his face, but I was obviously trying to knock the cup out of his hands, which I did. And then I remember saying very serious, like, don't ever make a joke about my mom. um, and then they kind of like saw me like, oh, okay, like what happened? What's going on with this guy? um, so yeah, I think that's what it was. I don't remember to 100%.
Yeah, I remember those stories. I remember you almost fighting quite a few people. You
I
people were
remember
afraid of you.
follow
People
I
were afraid
remember
of you.
following um I remember following one of the managers, I think Sam.
Yeah.
I think I follow him to his house, which was just across the movie theater in those apartment complex.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just like asking him out, like just to step out, because I just wanted to kick your ass. And he never did. He never stepped out. I think he like, as soon as he stepped in, he got a hot soup from mom and then put him in bed or something. So he was like, he was in bed by the time that I got there. So I couldn't pull him out of his house. But yeah, I guess it was all right. I couldn't get myself in trouble.
Yeah.
you know?
I remember you having that conflict where you were telling me that you were hearing racist things at work towards you. And I didn't believe you at first because I'd kind of been around these people and I was like, nah, it can't be. And then I ended up like hearing some of it. And I
Right.
was like, yeah. And then I from a couple managers, and I ended up like confronting them, and then I ended up telling the GM about it. I was like,
All
Gabe's not
right.
making this up. I've overheard some of it. And it kind of like was a big reason, like I flipped on a lot of them where I was like,
I think, as I say in the beginning, Rob, I mean, when I show up, I was a different dude. I was just like the Mexican guy, the Latino guy. So the movie theater has been on for years and for decades, and you guys were just working as a family, like just a group of white people, and don't sharing anything with anybody else. So for an stranger to show up like I did, I guess for some people it wasn't seen too good. You know what I mean? It was just like, okay,
I
what's going
didn't
on?
I didn't work there that much longer before you.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, like you started, like I said, I think February, March.
Okay.
I think end of February you started. I
Okay.
started the middle of December.
Oh wow, so it was just like 2 months before, maybe three
Yeah.
months before, right? Something like that.
And so
Okay.
like, yeah. And
But it was good times, you know what I mean? I mean, there were good times. I think we have a lot of fun. I think the people that we end up clicking with, everybody was really pleased. Everybody was really happy. We actually enjoy working. Like between us. We were just like
Dude,
enjoying
yeah,
ourselves.
I loved
You
it. I
know?
mean, I had already had in my head that when I first started there, I had already had it in my head that I was going to quit and find a different job that summer. I never
Right.
had any interest in working at the movie theater. This sounds silly, but I wanted to work at Toys R Us. Um,
Toys R Us.
yeah, that's where I wanted to work.
Seriously, was that
Uh,
your dream, Rob? Was that
it
Toys
wasn't
R
my
Us?
dream job. It just was like I had applied there, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool to just be around all these like toys and stuff. And then, yeah, and then, uh, I started there. I didn't really talk to people. I've told you the story about how I got hired on it at the theater, right? Did I ever
Oh,
tell
you
you this?
didn't. I think maybe you did. I mean, I don't know. Tell me.
Okay, so I was friends with Matt and Ethan. You remember them?
Okay. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so they had a friend named Heidi, and Heidi kept telling
Okay.
me to apply at the movie theater, and I didn't. So she filled out an application and she submitted it to the movie theater, and the theater called me for an interview.
Oh,
I didn't even know who
what?
was calling me. They were like, "Oh, we're calling you for an interview and stuff." And I go, "Who is this?" And they're like, "Oh, you applied here." And I go, "Oh, I put in an application. So who is it?" And they're like, "Movie theater." And I go, "Oh." And I was like, kind of a little bit like, I didn't even put the application in, but I didn't tell them. So I showed up,
Right,
had my interview with Jim, and I'm sure I was very nervous, and he
right.
ended up hiring me, and then I started, and yeah, so I didn't even fill out the application. Somebody else filled out the application, then submitted it, and then what was it? At some point, I remember like 5 or 6 months later. Do you remember Julie, the
Yes, I
manager?
remember Julie. Yes.
Julie was talking about how she's kind of clairvoyant and in a weird way, and that she can kind of tell by somebody's application on how honest they are.
Right, right.
And I overheard her telling somebody this, and it kind of made me like, oh. And I said to her, I go, so is that why you hired me? And she goes, yeah, I remember. I saw your application, and I could tell you were very, very
All
honest
right.
person.
Well, apparently
Yeah.
something is not working properly right
So
here.
I
But
mean,
okay.
wait,
Did she say something like, "Well, your handwriting, Rob, was really gentle with the paper,
yeah.
and I can tell that you were a soft person to work in the movie theater, right?"
You know me, I was like, that's all
Yeah,
accurate,
yeah,
completely
it's
accurate.
exactly what it was.
Start her own business, Miss Cleo.
I did with
Um,
all my love.
oh my god. And then yeah, so I remember, working there, and like I said, I was really quiet when I first started. I would talk to a couple people, like me and Tyler. I remember talking about music or whatnot, but it was like the sarcasm didn't come out for a few months. It
Okay.
wasn't until like I think I was saying some shit to Ethan one day because I had a friendship with him outside of work, so there wasn't,
Right,
and other people kind of like, I guess, kind of thought what I was saying was funny, and so
right,
people started asking me to go out and get coffee or go play basketball or whatever, and
right.
slowly started making friends. And that never happened in school for me or anything else, so it was weird that the movie theater was where I finally kind of made more friends, I guess.
I guess that process or that time in the movie theater was really special for everyone who was there in that time. I remember in my interview with Jim, he says, I remember the last question was, why do you think I should hire you? And I say, because I'm a hard worker and because I'm Latino. And he was cracking up. He was just laughing, which is weird because we know for a fact how serious he is. And he went like, he just shook his head like, okay, well,
That sounds
um,
like what Jim would do.
I guess you're in. Okay, that's great. And I guess we didn't disappoint. And somehow, I guess, like I said, we were just kicking butt right there, man.
Yeah, man, it was you guys that made me start being like, you know what, I'm not gonna quit this job. I'm gonna stick around. And yeah, that era, honestly, like that era, 2001, was like probably the best era of my life that I've had so
It was
far.
fun. It was a fun. And to be honest, I think that if you, I mean, you said that you were thinking about quitting, but I can picture myself like if you were not there for any reason, I would probably end up just like, oh, you know what, whatever, I'm out there. Let me just look for something else. You know what I mean?
Split.
Yeah, because somehow we were connected, man. We were just there for each other. I think we end up just choosing the same days and same hours
Yeah,
just to
dude.
work that out on our side. You know what I mean? So it was good. It was good.
Yeah, I remember like I'd only known you for a couple months and you invited me to Mexico. Do you remember
Right.
that? And
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was thinking about killing you down there, but then I
well,
was
that's
like,
why,
nah.
that's good because I thought I'm gonna kill him while we're there.
I figured, like, yeah, no one is gonna look for him over there.
Do you remember when you stole my the face to my car stereo?
Yes, I did. That was hilarious. You were so panicking. You were
Yeah,
like, "Oh my god, I miss it." It was like stealing a toy from a little kid, like a little 5-year old, like missing a candy, and it was good. It was funny.
and
Yeah,
I remember like all that stuff like
but it was a payback because I know you took something away from me.
I punched you in the neck, in the
Oh, is
throat.
that what it was?
Yeah, because you remember there was one day where we went in the elevator and
I
remember that
remember
the bell.
the bell right there.
It was the
King!
first time we did it though. I hit it and then I
Right.
punched you in the throat and you grabbed your throat because I guess I hit you harder than you thought and you fell down and you were like having trouble breathing. And when the elevator opened upstairs, there was Jim and Jim's like, "What's
Right.
going on?" I go, "Oh, he was choking on something. I think it was me." And then it became, and then we started doing that all the time. Every time we get in the elevator, we hit the bell and start punching.
Right, and we
Like,
were just punching to each other. That's right.
yeah,
But and then somehow, um, I remember when I took the face of your stereo, it's because you were on the ground.
yeah, we're
So I
fighting.
don't know if
And it fell
maybe
out of my
we were
pocket.
wrestling, or maybe you fell, or I punched you. I don't know what it was, but somehow you
I
went
think
in
we
the
were wrestling.
ground, and then the face of the stereo came out of your pocket. So I grab it and I just put it in my pocket right away with you noticing. And then we just like left. We just like keep going. And then we were just working and just doing our things. And like, I don't know, 3 years later, you find out that you didn't have the face of your stereo in your pocket. So you were panicking.
Oh my god, yeah. I remember. Yeah, because I spent so much money trying to get that stereo installed. Do you remember? Like,
Right.
I had so many problems with it, and I finally paid like quite a bit of money because I had a friend that tried to install it, but he cut up the wires wrong, and finally I had to take it to an expert, and they had to pay me to fix everything, and then get it in, and then it was a nice stereo. My friend actually gave it to me. My friend
Right.
Josh. I don't know if he gave it to me or if I bought it from him. I might have bought it from him, but anyway, like I had to
Maybe you
pay.
stole it, Rob. Who knows? But it's okay. You end up getting it. That's the keyword right
Yeah, and
there.
yeah, dude, I remember remember slapping each other, and then they had
Yes,
him,
we were slapping each other all the time. Yes.
and
That was
you remember this incident with you in Holland and the fire extinguisher?
Oh my God, that was a good one. Was it me who blew their thing up, or was it him? Was it Holland?
You guys, so it was you, but you guys were like horsing around and then bumped it and it fell down. And then I remember the story being that you guys like his remember it went off and then it set off the smoke detectors and like
Yes.
the fire alarm, all this stuff, and then everyone evacuated the theater and then fire department showed up. I wasn't there that day, but I heard the story from each of you and it cracked me up.
Right.
Yeah, you were telling about how like you and Holland had come up with this. You and Holland had come up with this idea to you were gonna tell Jim that
Right.
you guys were gonna tell Jim. You guys were gonna tell Jim that it was an accident, like it got bumped or something, and then
Right.
and then Holland went first, and apparently Holland just buckled and just told Jim.
You fucking blame it on me.
Yeah, and then when you came up there, you started in with the lie, and you said Jim was staring at you and just was like, "Really, really, Gabe, really?" Because this is what Holland said. He just buckled.
Dude, we have a lot of fun in that place. That was just it was a magical year. We didn't last too long in the movie theater. I was there maybe less than a year.
Yeah, I
But
think
that
you lasted till
small,
September or October, I think.
yeah, the small time that we were there, man, we have so much fun. Like, I don't think
So many
I
weird
have
memories.
ever enjoyed a job that I was like, oh my God, it's almost time to go to the movie theater. And I was all excited and like, I really want to go because I know that I'm going to be working, but at the same time, I knew that I was going to be getting fun, either because of you or just the girls or whatever. But we were just going to have fun. And that was great. That was fabulous. That
Yeah,
was excellent.
yeah, dude, it was totally like it's weird because I have all these memories of working with you, but you only worked there, I think, about 7 or 8 months.
Can you imagine if we will go longer than that? Like if we would have done like fucking, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, dude, we can just just destroy the movie theater and just build it again.
Well, I think I worked at that theater altogether 3 years because I
Okay,
worked there a little over a year, quit, and then came back like 10 months later and worked another, wow, no, I worked almost 2 years. I worked,
right,
and then I left and then I came back and worked another year. But
right,
it was never the same as it was that first time. That first
exactly.
it just I still met people I liked and made friends, but that original group, like Charlie, you,
Yeah,
like remember the core four of when I told the Tyler doing scheduling, just give me Gabe, me, Garrick, and Charlie, and that's all we need, those
that's
four.
all we need right there. The four of us. That's all we need. There's no need for anyone else. That's right. We can handle it.
And
Remember when we were shooting the garbage from the top roads of the auditoriums and
oh
just
yeah, yeah,
trying to
yeah.
make it into the garbage cans? We actually did a few of those. The man, we were so lucky. We were actually making points so good. We were just grabbing the popcorn and the pop cans or cups just full of liquid and just throw them from the top all the way into the barrel, into the garbage cans. We were good, man. We were just kicking butt. I mean, we were just the best. Seriously.
Yeah, dude, I remember hopping around, dude. I remember jumping around. You remember I used to just I would jump on the handrails and I would
Yeah.
exaggerate the job as much as possible. That was the joke of it. I would pretend like it
Right.
was really serious and I would just go and we would act. Remember, that was the joke. Me and you would act really serious.
That's right. I
And
remember when we set up. Hold on. I think Juliana, was it a Juliana? I think that she came up and we needed to train her. So I remember like, and this was so funny because I remember like, okay, so a couple things that you need to learn. Rule number one: we are number one. Okay. Number two is you always listen to the rule number one. And number
yeah,
three is like, yeah, we will teach you what to do. So we were like showing ourselves like the big daddies right there, man.
we did that to a lot of people when they first
We did
started.
it to a lot of people. It's like, yeah, you're under our command, so we tell you what to do, and it's all we need. It's all you need to do. If you do, everything as we said, you'll be fine. You'll be alive, and you're gonna survive. You'll be all right.
I remember the whole schedule thing where you started doing the thing where you take the piece of paper and you'd go like, you'd really like, I forget how you do it. You'd go like,
Okay, you got one? Yeah. Well, you gotta check it out. Here, I got one. So you grab it two hands and you just use your just two fingers. Okay, you gotta
okay,
get
okay.
two fingers right here, two fingers in the other side, and then you kind of go like back and forth, like, and then you kind of
Yeah,
like
very
make the little
important.
sound of the paper. Well, yeah, it looks good. I have Rob. I have Charlie. Yep, we're good. This is fabulous. Oh man, yeah, no, it's fun, dude. I really. Can you imagine how will the movie theater be with us being back in it right now? That we're like fucking what 40s?
Dude, no, yeah, no. I mean, I had an interest in coming back at some point just for nostalgia reasons, but
Right.
you can't recreate it. Even when I came back after like that quitting that first time when I came back, it just was all nostalgia. I didn't really make as many new memories. Does that make sense?
Right.
You can't
Yes.
recreate it. It's the same place. It's
Right.
kind of nice to, like, I still like to go back to that theater on occasion and look around because I have so many good memories there.
Right. Right. Me too.
But you just can't recreate it.
Right.
It was
You know what? You know what's up when I go back to the movie theater? I mean, now that I'm 42, uh, and I can go back to it, and I can see the ushers, I can see the people in concessionaires, I can see the people in box office. Dude, they look dead. The place is dead. I mean, there's no action. We were laughing, we were having fun, we were running from one auditorium into the other one. We were just, dragging the garbage through the hallway. We were having fun. That was like this good energy in the movie theater.
Yeah, there was.
And now that you go in, everyone is just so serious. Like, I'm like, you guys are just pathetic. I mean, there's like no life in this place, man. That's it. It's over,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it feels weird, but I guess it's just what it is. It's just reality, right?
Yeah, it's like you kind of look at it. Well, it's like it's generations later. It's like people 20 years younger than us. So like when we were working, some of those people weren't even born yet when we were working there.
That's right.
Working there now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I often thought if it wasn't a combination of being around, like for me, like, the movies, going in those dark auditoriums, the lighting and stuff, and just like hearing all the theme music all the time. And then you're around this cast of characters of people, and you were hilarious. Like everybody had their weird little quirks. It was it was a weird group that can't be recreated, I don't think. I mean,
I believe it. Yes, I agree. Everyone was so different, but that somehow we all have something that we click with, that we agree with, and that we share with. So no, I mean, I agree. I mean, it's just the only way will be to the same crew of people go back to it and just try to recreate it, but it's not going to be the same. But I mean, it will be the closest thing that we can do in order to make it happen.
Yeah, so like, and then you got terminated for.
I got terminated
for throwing some swings at people.
Yeah, I was suspended, and then they finally got me. I mean, there was like, I guess I didn't realize this, that people was afraid to work with me, and I look at it like, well, they started it, so why not?
Do you remember the storyline about like why you got, like, what?
No, not completely, not exactly. No,
it was. So I remember the first time I think you got written up was when it was like a slow Sunday evening.
Okay.
And you were the closing usher, and you took your vest off. It was back when we had the vest.
Right.
And you started playing video games. And Tanisha said,
"Oh my God,
you remember this?"
Yeah.
Like,
so she came up and she's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm playing video games." "But you're on the clock." No, I'm not. I don't have my vest on. So she went to look at the clock, and she realized that was not a clock out or a break time. So yeah, she came back and gave me a write up, and yeah, this how everything started right there.
And then you got into it with Eden because you said you don't like her singing. Because I remember like people came up to me and people wanted me to have a talk with you.
Right.
and me and you had a talk, and I was like, you remember that? You're like, what? I don't like her singing. And I go, okay, listen. You have the right to not like her singing. And I told her that he has the right to not like your singing.
Right.
I go, he might have worded it a little rough to you. He probably could have been nicer about it, but.
Oh my God.
And then
I still don't like her singing. Don't take me wrong. I think she's a hot girl. I mean, but I just don't think that she was born to sing. I mean, that's it. It's like, I mean, she has this really loud, like, and I'm like, just
was,
shut the fuck up. I mean, that was like
it
horrible. I'm
was
like, no
very
way.
operatic. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And I guess it's just not for me. I guess the specific talent is not tolerated by my ears, by my Mexican ears. So that's why I said those things. But I didn't say them on a mean way. But I guess she's a little sensitive, so she take it personal. You know what I mean?
And then like a month or a couple weeks later, she made some comment about you being a Mexican jumping bean, and you got really mad. And you want to talk about being sensitive, dude?
Oh. I mean, but see, I can tolerate those jokes coming from someone like you, someone like Charlie, someone like Garrett,
Yeah.
someone like that I get along with. See, when you get along with somebody, there is this line that you can cross a little bit farther without of making an insult, and it's okay, it's tolerated. But first of all, me and her didn't quite click.
Yeah, you guys already were weird, and then she made that comment.
Exactly. So when you make the comment, it's like, you know what? You're knocking on the door right here, lady. Come on, you need to shut the fuck up. so yeah, she was asking for it, I guess.
She yeah, man, I remember. I guess it's kind of a little bit like this. It's like, I can handle my friends being like just saying really ridiculous stuff to me.
Right.
Like I can handle some ridiculous like jokes at me. But if I know somebody doesn't like me or I don't really click with somebody,
Exactly.
they can make a very, very slight joke.
Right.
You know, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, that's what happened between me and Eden, because we didn't get along, and she said those comments. I was like, oh fuck no. I feel like an old man back in the day, like, oh hell no, you know,
Yeah.
and just pull the trigger right there, man.
And then John Rochester came to enforce you saying,
Yeah,
like,
I
and
never
guys
get along with him. I never get along with him. I think, yeah, he was a joke. I mean, I don't even know what is he alive? Because he shouldn't be alive. I mean, I don't know.
That's kind of mean, dude.
But yeah, no, we didn't get along, and the fact that he was really good friends with Tanisha, and he was always repeating that, like making threats, like, I'm really good friends with Tanisha. Okay, well, whatever, you can go and do her if you want to. I don't care.
Oh, really? He said that?
Know?
I don't
It's
remember
like,
that.
Yeah, he said a few times, like, yeah, me and Denisha, we're like so close. We're like this close.
Yeah, that's a good
And I'm like, oh, okay, wow. I mean, right on. I mean, it's like, congratulations. I'm going to make you a trophy, and then you can just put in one of your shells in your house. I mean, for such a friendship between you and Tanisha. So, yeah, it was just, I think for me, the movie theater was a group A and group B. Like, group A was everyone who I get along with, like you, Juanita, Garrett, Charlie, Scott, oh my God, Juliana, and that was a couple of the girls too that I get along with really good. Michelle, and then Amber. Oh my God, who was the other one? That was this girl who was dating Charlie back in the days. What's her name? Jacinda. There you go. And that was a couple more. And that was another group like Tanisha, John Rochester, that I just didn't get along with. So it was like, okay, I go to this side because those are my friends. Those are the people that I get along with. And then it comes the other group that was just all my enemies. So so it was like a battle, dude. Like I was always trying to stay in my side. And
it was divided up, you know.
Right. So, but it was fun. I mean, I like it. You know.
So I guess let's kind of leave the theater stories. We've talked a lot about theater. How so like you left the theater, you started your own business, right? And
I left the theater and then I went into a janitorial company. I was here. That was this company hiring people, and um, I went in and I started working as a janitor in this company in Vancouver, and that's how everything started regarding the business. Yes.
um and then you, I mean, me and you always kept in, kept in touch. Like we always like
Yes.
call each other off and on, and I don't think it would go ever longer than a year or something,
I don't think so. It's always less than a year, and then somehow we end up touching bases. We saw each other a couple times. One of the things that I was always curious is like when you call me, like, yeah, we should go get a coffee at Sherry's. I was like, why coffee? I was like, why don't we just go get a drink or something? Why coffee? It's like, I never get the part from you, Rob. But at the end, it was like, yeah, sure, let's go get coffee. Doesn't matter. It's all good, right?
you guys all trolled me
He's
pretty
a
good.
coffee lover.
You guys trolled me pretty good right before I moved to California in 2016, when
Right.
I got us all together and we were at Sherry's, and was it Garrick said that he's like, dude, I have to just ask this. Like, we're here because of your bullshit nostalgia, right? That's the only reason we're at Sherry's, right? We're like, he's like, my he's like, my wife asked me, like, why the hell are you guys going to? And then you said to me, you were like, yeah, Rob, like, I told my wife I'm going to, or my girlfriend, I'm going to Sherry's with the guys. And she goes, oh, Sherry's, huh? Sherry's with the
Exactly.
guys. Like,
Because
didn't
no
believe
one
you.
will believe this shit.
And
It's like,
like, and I remember I like spit out my water. And then it just dawned on me, and I think Garrick was like, yeah, and cool, dude, quit sending us messages and referring to us as ushers, dude. That was like our life like 15 years ago. And I was like, okay, guys, okay. And Charlie was like, well, I'm okay with going to Sherry's once in a while, Rob. I'm okay. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry, guys. I had no idea. It's dawning on me right now how ridiculous it is that I invite you guys to meet up at Sherry's where we used to hang out.
if you
15
if
years
you
later.
think about it, nowadays, that was really bummer. Like, let's go to Sherry's and get coffee. Like, okay, fine. We did it a couple times, and then as we keep going, I was like, why Sherry's? Why can't we just like go elsewhere? Like, I don't know, man. just go.
Well, you
Another good part of the movie theater. Shit, we went back into the movie theater. Is when we were playing basketball at the end of the shift. Remember, like that was this. I think during the
yeah, we'd
summer,
go out at night and we'd
we
play
went
ball till
out to
like 3 or
this.
4 a.m.
Yeah, and we
at
were
Harmon.
playing hard until late, like hard. We were on. Yeah,
Dude,
and that was
imagine that kind of energy like back then when we were young, like working like a 10-hour shift on your
yeah,
feet all day and then get off work. Hey guys, let's go play basketball at
yeah.
3 in the morning at
Yeah, and then
Harmon
you said
Elementary.
something about like, yeah, there is this elementary school that has a basketball court and the light is on. And yeah, we were there until fucking 3, 4 a.m. just playing basketball. I was like, oh, okay. So that was cool. That was, and actually a lot of
I
people
forgot
went
about
to
that.
play basketball. Yeah, there was a lot of people playing. I mean, we were making teams of 5 against 5, 6 against 6, or whatever, 4 against 4, and we were just playing full
And
court.
and there was like people like Amber, a couple of the girls would come out and they'd like sit on
Yeah,
the side and read books and
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
and
um, God, I forgot about that.
yeah. That was actually really fun. I have a lot of memories about just playing basketball until very late hours or early hours, I should say.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Stay up all night.
Pretty
Um,
much.
I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, but the whole thing with Sherry's was like, I think I first started getting invited to Sherry's. I never really went there, and then so I would just go with the people, and it was, I think the first time it was Sean Ketchum and Tyler Hayes that invited me out to Sherry's,
Right.
and then it turned into Jordan. It came out a few times, and then the group kind of gradually, kind of morphed a little bit, and then it just became something like once a week we'd all go to Sherry's, and
Yep.
and then Garrick started going, and you would go sometimes, and you know,
Yep.
expanded. And I think it became something where, when I finally left the theater, I mean, it's also, none of us were drinkers really. That's one thing I've often thought about, is that like that first crew when I worked there in 2001, none of us were really drinkers, and
Right.
we're all kind of nerdy in our own way. It was a weird group of like different kinds of nerdy people. And
Right.
and yeah, and I when I came back later, after quitting, coming back, it was like more people, they would just go meet up and have, get drunk at people's houses and stuff. And I think I got into that.
Right. Yeah. Yes, you did.
But I didn't, I don't get me wrong, I got into my phase of drinking for sure, big time.
Right.
But the first year, over a year that I worked at the movie theater, I had never had alcohol.
Is that right?
Not a drop. And I think, it's something I've thought about, is that like that, that first year was such a big year in my life, and maybe it's age, maybe it's the people, maybe whatever. But I also look at it as before I ever touched alcohol. So I kind of wondered if I wasn't like,
Right.
what other things were factoring in.
Yeah. But anyways, after the movie theater, we went into different directions. Like I stay in town. I went into this janitorial company, eventually opened the business, and it's actually making me and paying for my bills and making me alive right now. And then you end up exploring California, Seattle, and Vancouver again, and you were like all over town. And
Yeah, I never did Seattle. I went up to Olympia. I went up there
oh,
like,
Olympia. Yeah.
yeah, I
Okay.
moved up there probably 7 times, I think. I kept moving back and forth, and
Yeah, you were like back and forth, and I was like, man, it was just getting so annoying.
yeah, I had this idea of Olympia, and it never really
Right.
panned out. Um, and then I kind of just gave up on that idea of it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I moved back and forth, and then you stayed local. You know,
Right.
I remember I ended up um, staying with you briefly after my
Right.
hand injury,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then I remember you. Oh yeah, you started a radio show, right, for a while, right?
Um. So I always liked the comedy. Okay. I guess since I was little, man, I always like to tell jokes, and I always like to make people laugh. Now, with that being said, once I was solo, like after the movie theater, just working, that was a moment, that was a period of my life that everything related to comedy pop up out of the nowhere. I wasn't looking for to do a show on the radio and the TV. It just pop up, and I take the opportunity. I enjoy it. I explore it. I have fun. I did it. And it worked out good for the time that I did it, and I'm happy about it. It went just fine. I mean, the only reason that I'm not doing it right now is because the business that I'm involved with, it pays more than the comedy.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I'd be doing comedy. But yeah, that was in a small, flash moment on the radio and the TV. Maybe like, I don't know, 6 months on the TV, and then the radio went for like a year, maybe year and a half. But man, I never get a penny out of it. So I was enjoying and having so much fun, but I wasn't seeing any profit out of it,
yeah.
any income or
To
something.
to make it what you're to be able to do it,
Exactly, to
like,
make it like a primary thing. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, right, right. Exactly, exactly. But it was really fun, Rob. I mean, it's just something like what you're doing right now, dude. I mean, if it's something that you are good on, and you know how to do it, you like it, you have the potential to, please go for it. Just blew it all up. You know what I mean? because yeah, it's like a dream came true or something. But the time just put you into this position right now. Just take it. Just go for it. If it does work, good. If it doesn't work, hey, at least you try and just do your best, dude. Enjoy, and it'll be all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I remember like your radio show, and I remember you posting links on Facebook, with it. And I mean, it was in Spanish, so I could, I still try to listen to it a little bit. And then
Right,
I remember you posting the commercials you were in.
right.
How many were you in?
That was a total of three commercials on the TV, and they were actually live on Channel 10. Um, I don't know for how long they were on, but depends on the sponsors, how much time they wanted for the commercial to stay on live. But I did three commercials with this TV company called Prisma.com.
Prisma.
Right, right.
I kind of remember
So
one of them, wasn't it? Like a dealership
that
commercial.
was I was a mechanic. Okay, so the first one that I did, that was that was a shop. That was this really nice, good looking shop. Um, so I was playing my imitation of a ghetto, a slappy mechanic was like, so I'm working on a car, all right? The hood is up, I'm working on a car, and there's this, was supposedly a good looking lady, but it turned out that she wasn't a good looking. But that's what they have money for. So they found this lady, and when she approached me, her role was to show me that she was the owner of the car, and my role was to show her that I was pretending to know what I was doing in the car, but at the end I was like nothing going on in the car. Like I didn't know what to do in the car. So she's telling me like, "Whoa, my car is making this noise," and I'm like, sure, yeah, I think I found it, and it's probably this." And I pull a toy out of the engine, like I pull this little toy like out of the engine, and then I wanted to show her the dashboard, so I take it to the front of the car, and that was like this little um, a sticker of the Virgin Mary just on the dashboard. And I say, if the noise keep going, you just gotta pray to the Virgin Mary, and hopefully it will go away. So, so yeah, that was really. So I put grease in my face, and I'm like all ghetto. Like I put like really dirty shirt on it, and I'm just showing like a dirty Mexican mechanic that doesn't know anything about his job. And the whole thing was just like, "Yeah, if you don't want to have any problems with guys like this, you come to us." And then they pulled me out of the picture, and they show like this fancy, good looking shop with everyone
Oh,
just dressed so professional and everything. So yeah, the whole thing was like me being the
the bad
dirty,
guy, like
the
the
bad
who you
guy
don't
of
want to
the
go
of
to.
the exactly the ones that doesn't want to go to, which somehow it kind of matched my
It,
personality, I guess,
it sounds like it
related to
matched.
the movie theater. I guess end up clicking just fine for me. Right.
Dude, you'll have to send me those commercials if you can find them.
I don't think I don't have them. See,
Huh.
that's the funny part. That I always ask for a picture or for a copy of it, and they say, yeah, 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 we will give you like a UVI thing, like a little memory, like a little chip thing, so you can just play them in your computer, and I can just like, oh my God, look at this, and I did the commercial. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they never did. They never did. And then I don't know where they are. I just never saw them. I saw them live a couple times, just watching TV, and I was like, oh my God, this is me right there, and that was it. But I don't have any copies or not a clue where they are, to be honest.
Um.
Yeah.
So when you started doing stand up, how did you get into doing stand up?
Okay. Wow. That's my biggest trophy. So, first of all, there is this a friend of mine. Okay, check this out. Long story short, a friend of mine invite me to get tacos at his house. He's like, dude, I'm doing this. I'm gonna put this taco stand. I want you to come to my house. No, I'm that serious.
No, no, no.
I want you to come to my house because I'm giving free tacos. And I'm like, really? Why would you do that? She's like, so I can promote it. And if people like them, I'm gonna open my own taco stand. I dude, okay, right on. I'm down.
Yeah.
It's free food and these tacos. Who doesn't want to go? I'm a Mexican, dude. Of course I want to go for it. So I'm in his place. It's a bunch of people, like a lot of people. And he knew I was trying to explore myself into comedy. So the only condition that he told me in order to get free tacos was to give him 10, 15, or 20 minutes of a stand-up. So I prepare myself a couple lines. Now, when I'm doing the stand-up, earning my tacos right there in the middle of the garage in his house, the guy whose name is Eduardo Corona and his wife, well, is now they're divorced, but back in the days that was his wife. They are the ones who own the TV show. So when they saw me doing a stand-up, they approached me after and they said, "Oh my God, hey, listen, my wife and I, we have a TV show. Would you like to come in and join us in TV and just do like little tiny jokes, like maybe 30 seconds joke, maybe 45 seconds joke, 25-second jokes, just to make the show a little bit more, happy, just to bring the little sugar in the show." So that's how I end up in TV. But anyways, um, when I do the stand up, my now, well, I shouldn't say wife, she's not married, but we're not married, but my girlfriend, I call it wife because we've been together for such a long time. So my girlfriend says, "Hey, listen, there's this guy that I know who has a radio station and they're looking for someone to take over on the morning show." And I'm like, okay, good for them. I wish them luck. And they said, "No, I'm talking about you." I'm like, "No, I don't know anything about radio." Anyways, my wife contact me with Alex. His name is Alex. And the radio station is up in Eugene, Oregon.
Okay.
And I listened to it for a week. I'm like, okay, it's really cool. Sounds really easy. And he says, "Gabe, all you gotta do is just keep people entertained for 2 hours until I can find someone to take over on this position. It'll be from 10 a.m. to noon. That's it. You can just choose a topic from the computer. Just go to Google, just go to the news, just go to any channel, just look for something happening in the world. Just read through it, just blow it all up in the show. And if you don't want to say anything, don't say anything, just play music. And then between music, just going live and just say, "Hey, what's going on, my people? Blah, I'm Gabe, and I'm in Vancouver, Washington, and happy birthday to you." And just play another song, whatever. Just kill 2 hours. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. I think I can do it. He came home. He gave me a brand new broadcast system, like the burner, the microphone. He download this program into the computer. He put everything on for me. We run a couple tests. Boom. Next week I was on the air. And oh my God, Rob, out of the nowhere, because I didn't know what to do, little by little, I was catching up small little things, and he was giving me advice, and people start following me, just like you.
Yeah, froze.
That was a show. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, your computer has no visual now. There's no
Oh,
video.
hold on. Let's start video right here. There you go. Stupid camera. Can you see me now?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, so out of the nowhere, that was a show from 6 to 8. That was another show from 8 to 10. But those guys were really boring, according to the people. So when Gabe pop up at 10, I was like full energy, like, hey, what's going on, people? This is Gabe from Vancouver, Washington. Tell me what song do you want? Blah blah blah. And I was just like blowing everything up. Out of the nowhere, the guy with no experience, which is me, the guy that doesn't know anything about radio, which is me, the guy that is nobody on the radio, which is me. In 3 weeks, I was the one that, that everybody wanted to listen to, and I was having so much followers. I ended up having more followers on my show than the entire station together.
Oh wow.
And I was like, oh, I guess I kind of like this. You know what I mean? I mean, this is actually something cool. So I was just preparing myself the night before, choosing a topic or something just to talk about the show. And I was just going through my head, preparing material and create jokes and funny stories to tell the people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I end up creating more comedy.
Okay.
So the comedy I was mentally working myself for from noon up to the following day at 10 o'clock to throw my material to my people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at noon, when I shut everything off, I was like, okay, that's it. I made it for today. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about whatever, something, UFOs, whatever, dude,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
just something. And then through the day, I was just mentally like, oh my God, okay, I'm going to say this. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this song. I'm going to open with this music, and then I'm going to close with this music, and I'm going to say those jokes through the show. Boom. I was preparing myself for 24 hours, dude, just to throw a show on the followers. And it worked out just fine for like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the air and I was just killing it with not knowing what to do because I was not a professional.
Mm-hmm.
And it just happened. It just happened. And then from radio, went to TV. From TV, I went to a stand up and I started doing shows, like real shows, comedy shows for the Latino community, for the Hispanic community. And everything started in Eugene, Oregon. That was the first time that I step into a stage and grab a microphone and throw a 1 hour show. And that's exactly how where everything started. And this
Mm-hmm.
place called, that was this Mexican restaurant called El Patron. And that's what everything started. Has a stand-up comedy. But I did have a little bit of lines and a little bit of, you know, backup from the TV and from the
So there
radio.
was like a kind of a build up to it.
Exactly, that was a build-up because see, when Alex says, "Okay, dude, have you ever thought about doing comedy like a stand-up comedy?" I say, "No." He says, "Well, it's pretty much what you do in the radio. Why don't you do a show? Why don't you come up to Eugene and throw a show for us?" And I'm like, "No, because no one sees me on the radio, dude. I mean, there's a microphone in front of me, and I talk to the computer. I talk to the screen of the computer, and I can watch a porn if I want to. But no, but it's not the same when you face the people." And he says, "Dude, just give it a try. Just give us an hour. I
Mm-hmm.
can get you a place. We can bring another group just to kill the other hour. We can save the place for 2 hours. You kill one, the group will kill two. I mean, the other hour, so we can make 2 hours." And Rob, I was so nervous. I accepted. I was like, okay, fine, I do it. I accepted. They called this group. Um, and the condition was the group will sing a song and then I go in for 5 minutes. And then the group kill another song and I go in for 5 minutes until we kill the 2 hours between.
Like together, kind of
Yes,
back and
pretty
forth.
much. Because I didn't want to be standing there in the stage for an hour. I think that was too much and I was really nervous. So when I finished the hour, dude, everything was over and I wanted to keep going. Because like people was like, oh my God, that was so funny. And I just wanted to keep going and going and going and don't stop. So that's where everything was created. Eugene, Oregon. That everything came out from Eugene and Alex from the radio station. So it was a fun ride. It was a fun ride. I'm still writing lines for comedy. I'm not doing comedy right now, but I'm still writing and just creating and things in my head. And when something good come up, I will record it in my phone and just practice them. And
Yeah.
if I ever need to say something, I will. I have some material in the phone to say. Yeah, yeah.
Um, so like the earlier when you mentioned people being offended and you mentioned Asian people getting offended at people breaking up uh fortune cookies, I would get rid of that joke, man. That's a little bit. I think that might be.
It may
Uh,
be too hard, right?
I think it might be more on the offensive side. So let's maybe drop that one. And
But you know what? Okay, first, okay. So the comedy
just
part.
giving you
Okay,
my advice. I know.
okay. Thank you, Rob. So, but check this out. There's something. Okay, first of all, people need to understand a couple of things. Okay, number one, when a comedian is creating a line, okay, it's creating a line in his head.
Mm-hmm.
I will, okay, as a Mexican, I will create a line in my head, okay, in my head, in my
Yeah, yeah.
really goofy head, and I'm gonna put things together like, oh my god, if I combine this, if I do this, if I do that, just to create a joke.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I am not creating a line or a joke in order to offend or insult someone. And I don't think that any comedian will ever come up and says, you know what, I'm going to create this because this will offend and it's going to bother people. No, I don't think it's that way. You create a line in your head, you're going to give it a try. That's
Yeah.
why you have open mics and small period of times in some comedy clubs to throw some lines and see if they work or not. But I don't think that no one will create a comedy line just to insult or offend somebody. I think we create a line because we think it's funny, we like it, and it may work, it may not work. Um, Number two, I don't know if you notice or if you follow any comedians, most of the comedians will talk about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You follow people like George Lopez, Gabriel Iglesias, uh, um, Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, Ron White. I like Ron White. I like that guy is awesome. I like Ron White. Um, um, yeah, there's just ton of comedians that I follow. Most of them, 99.9% of the comedian will talk about themselves. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm stupid, I'm fat, my wife is a cunt, my children's are an asshole, my culture is all fucked up. Everything is just about me, 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 me.
Yeah.
And that's why your comedy is so special because no one can take it away from you. George Lopez talked a lot about his grandma. Uh, I mean, Kevin Hart, he talks a lot about his wife, his money, and his kids. Dave Chappelle, he talks a lot about politics and black community. Um, Dude, I mean, it's great. It's lovely, but yeah, I mean, it is it is what it is. I create some jokes and based on my family, based on my folks, based on my ex-wife, my kid, my girlfriend, and it's great. I mean, it's it's awesome, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean I'm a big fan of comedy. There's I try to watch a lot of stand up if I
Right?
can. Um, I've only been to a stand up show once, and it was by accident.
Is that right?
Yeah, did I ever tell you this story?
No, no, but we should go, Rob. We should go to one of those comedy clubs and just, dude, get a drink and enjoy the show. No matter who it is, But I'm a big fan of comedy, so when I hear someone coming into town, I'm down. I will go into the club and just enjoy, just have fun, just laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
right?
No, yeah, it's something I need to start doing, like experiencing that, and also just kind of being supportive of people that are trying to do comedy.
Right,
I've had friends that try to do comedy, and I don't think they're very good at it, but I appreciate the fact they're trying for something,
right.
supportive of somebody, and wanting them to progress on it. And but yeah, like um, I yeah, here's a story. So like I was with Ethan,
Okay,
and this must have been shit 2006, maybe
okay.
2005, I don't know. But he said there was a new place downtown that had
Uh-huh.
opened, then it was like a restaurant or whatever, and he wanted to go
Right.
there. And so it was me, him, and another one of his friends. And you know me, man, I'm not a very I don't go out a lot. I don't go,
Right.
especially back then. I think I'm easier for me to do it now, but back then I didn't go out, and so they were giving me crap about not going out. So finally I agreed to it. So we go, and we get to this. It's stand up, it's comedy, and
Right.
so we walk in, and then there's a back area, and in the back area you walk in a second door, and then you're in the comedy room, whatever, and everyone's sitting at like these tables.
Yep.
And as soon as we walked in, some girl was on stage, and she had kind of like shorter blonde hair, and she
Right.
said, "Oh, look, Pearl Jam walked in," and I think the joke was that, like I don't know, it's kind of silly. I assume it was because I just kind of have like messy looking hair, so maybe I look like, like a character from that band or whatever. Um,
Right.
and a couple people kind of in the tables nearby kind of laughed, like a couple kind of like chuckles or whatever. And then I said, I didn't know David Spade was doing comedy tonight. And
You said that?
yeah, and the tables nearby started laughing. And then one of the servers came up that was within earshot and said, "Oh, just let her go. Don't get into it with her. Just let her go. She's trying really hard,
Right.
And I go, she started it, and then but I know when I had made that comment, after she made that comment, and then I made my comment, the tables laughing nearby interrupted
Right.
her show, because like she started to talk something else, and then she had
Oh
to
my
stop
God.
because then
Right.
and
Well,
yeah,
you were, let me tell you something, Rob. You were really brave because there's no way, and I swear, you listen to this. There's no way that I will interrupt a comedian while he's on a stage. That's the worst things you can do. Even if you're in a concert or something and you interrupt,
mm-hmm,
first of all, that's really disrespectful. And second of all, you will be a target. Like, especially with a comedian, dude. If this guy, this lady, I mean, because sometimes, okay, there's a couple of lines that people doesn't know, but when you're on the stage, they tell you, like, dude, look for a target.
yeah,
Just look for. I mean, you need. Okay, you have your line, right? You're like, okay, Gabe, you go up 10 minutes. That Are you ready? Let's go. I will always prepare myself with 15 or 20, because sometimes I have 10 minutes, but if I go too fast, I might consume those 10 minutes into 7 or 8 minutes. So I go a little farther and I prepare myself with 15 minutes, right?
mm-hmm,
But that's rule number one. You always have more time of your lines than the ones they ask for, just to be safe.
yeah,
Okay, rule number two, you always look for a target. Always look for someone when you step out, like, oh my God, the girl over there with the red dress. Oh my God, look at the dude over there, looks so weird. Don't say anything, but just keep them in your head. And then if you start running out of comedy, you start running out of material, or something comes up that you can throw or take advantage of their target that you have selected,
yeah,
oh boy, just, I'm sorry, dude, but go for it. Go for it. That's your backup. There's always like someone that you can just use in order to keep the show going. So I know about it, but a lot of people doesn't. So there is no way that I will say something on a show because I know that I can automatically be a target for that guy, and it's just gonna blow me. It's just
Well,
gonna like it's just
no,
gonna kill me.
trust me. I mean, I have that, like, I respect, a comedian. Like, I would never, if I was actually going to a show, I would never.
Right.
It
Say
was a it
something.
was a combination of Ethan tricking me, and like,
Right.
I didn't know it was a comedy show. So like,
Right.
as I'm walking, as I'm walking through the door to
Right.
have the comedian make an insult at me,
Yeah.
and like,
Well, you
and I
will
said something right.
automatically you show up, and maybe this girl, you don't know, maybe she was running out of material or something, and
Yeah,
then she saw you guys right there, and she's like, you know what, boom, I gotta go for this guy, and you were the winner, you were the lucky charm right there.
yeah. And I mean, like, I said something back, and it was like real quick. It was like less than 10 seconds. It was
Right.
like, oh, it didn't tell me, whatever. David Spade was playing tonight, and
Right.
but it was like, once after that, we settled down and sat down, and like, I didn't say
Good.
anything else. But it was
Good.
just like the instinctive reacting of
Exactly. You
not
were just
knowing.
reacting to
And I'm gonna
something.
say something
Yes.
smart ass back to somebody who just said something smart ass to me. It's like if I walked into a bar and it wasn't like a comedy, it was just walking into a bar, and as soon as I walk in, somebody says something at me, like I
Right.
might have a quick reaction back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or like
Okay.
confusion, whatever. Um,
Right.
but so like when you were touring, or no, did you tour? Did you? Because I thought you told me you went down to LA and played
I
shows.
went down to okay, so um the big blew up for me was that there is this radio station in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Um and this radio station made a contest nationwide. Those guys are in the actually like maybe more than 40 states in the entire country. It's really popular. Um, those guys throw a contest nationwide for all the followers, and the big prize it was four people they were going to be selected, and the prize was to go down there to LA, participate with them on the show, and go to the Hollywood Improv. The Hollywood Improv, Rob, is a
Yeah.
big thing.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's a big thing, dude. A lot of famous, I'm talking about big people, has been doing comedy at the Hollywood Improv. No anybody can go to the Hollywood Improv. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be a good and badass. Okay. With that being said, my wife again, she's like, I think you should participate. And I say, babe, I don't have no time. I'm super busy. No. She's like, it's just send them a joke. It's only a 15, 20-second joke. Just say something, record yourself, send it over. This is the link where you're gonna send it over. I'm like, fine, I do it at work. I take a little break. When I was working, I record myself, I put my smiley face on it, and I throw a stupid joke. Seriously,
What
I
was
think
the
it was
joke?
really stupid. Um, I cannot translate the joke. Let me see if I can translate the joke because it's all in Spanish. So anyways, I send the video, and I know for a fact there was almost 1,000 people participating in the entire country. From there, they knock 500 out, and that was 500 left. So I got another link invitation, and they say, "You are in the second round. Can you please send us another video?" And I'm like, oh, "This is stupid, dude. It's not working. Whatever." Next day, I go to work, and I was just saving the little break time to record myself, do another joke, send it over. Second day go by, they knock 250 out. Send another invitation, and then it just went on and on and on until that was 100, and then 50, and then 40, and then 20. And I guess that's when I realized, like, wait, I'm inside the 20. It's like, hold on a second. So they start with 1,000 people, and then 500, 250, 150, 40, now it's 20. And I keep going. Like they keep inviting me.
Is it still the same joke? They just
No, no,
basically
no. There was different jokes. No, I was
every
coming out
round
with
was a new
different
joke.
jokes. Yeah, yeah. Every time I send in a video, that was a different joke. Yeah, but the joke, it needed to be under a minute long.
Hmm.
So I'm like, okay, fine, fine. Let me think about another joke and something quickly. So I was always knocking jokes really quick. Like I was knocking jokes with a lot of punchlines. Boom, boom, boom. And I was making faces when I was recording myself. And I guess that was a part that was kind of funny. Or I was changing voices or something. Because right now I can do a total of 9 voices. Okay. Um, so with that being said, after the 20, that was 10, and then that was 8. And out of the 8, that's when, no, I'm sorry, in 10, that was the contest went a little bit different because they say, okay, we have 10 people, and out of these 10 people, only 4 of them are going to participate in the big night, in the big show.
Hmm.
With that being said, the rules are now going to change. You're going to tell a joke. This time you can go over a minute of a joke. We're going to post the 10 jokes in the website of their station, and people needs to vote for the 4 best jokes. With that being said, send us your joke, do your best. We're going to post it, and you invite your friends to vote for you. But you cannot vote more than more than twice every 2 or 3 hours. So like so I'm like, okay, fine. So I did a joke, send it over, they posted, competition start. So I told my friends, my family, people in Mexico, dude, they were voting for me. Like, dude, just I send them the link. I said, can you please vote for my joke? So out of the nowhere, I think it was like a weekend, like a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday contest, and the winners they were gonna be announced on the Monday show for this radio station. So through the weekend, I did have a lot of people, and I didn't sleep through the weekend because every 2 3 hours I was just getting up and voting for myself, and my wife was getting up through the night. We were just voting for my video, uh, and I ended up getting like over 1,000 votes on a weekend. Like thanks to all the people who was voting and everything. So I made it to the final. So that was 4 guys um, that we were in the show, and we were getting ready for a week. They prepare us for a week, okay. Um, and the big night I remember was on a Saturday. I'm sorry, on a Friday night on Hollywood, um, Hollywood Improv in Los Angeles, and I compete against Pedro. Uh, what was this other guy? Luis. So that was Pedro, Luis. That was me, and that was another. That was another guy. That was 4 of us who were the most vote. Our videos were the most voted, so that's why we made it. And they pay us round trip flight. They pay us a nice, fancy, good looking hotel, all the meals of the day, and they send us 2 comedians to train us, to tell us like how to to present ourselves into the scenario and everything. That was a big thing. That was a big thing. That was judges. That was live TV, and that was the radio station on. Uh, that was a big one, and I ended up winning the second place. I was second place. I lost
Wow,
for
dude.
one vote. I lost for one vote, and I lost $10,000. Uh, yeah, the big prize was 10,000, and um, and I lost for one vote against a guy from Texas. Yeah, He did 42 points. I did 41 points the night of the event. The other two guys from Los Angeles, they did like 30 some points each. So I lost for 1 point. And I lost the big prize for 10,000
Was
bucks.
there
So
a second place prize at all, or no?
the second, third, and fourth place, we only got 1,000 bucks a piece. That was it. But the big prize was
10 grand.
at 10 grand. And I lost them. It didn't happen. But you know what, Rob? I think that has been one of the most fun, excited. I mean, just it's just never gonna be out of my head. I mean, everything was just great. I mean, our mentors were Richard Villa, which is a great comedian, and you know Gabriel Iglesias, right?
Hmm.
The fluffy guy. Well, there is this guy Martin, who he's called many times during Gabriel Iglesias, the fluffy show.
Hmm.
Well, Martin Moreno was there training us and helping out. Richard Villa, which is another uh, big, great comedian in the States, he was there, his mentor. And John Heights, he was there too. So it was really good. I mean, but one of the things, everything was looking good. I was seeing comments and everything was showing that I was the best one out of the four candidates. But you know what? It is what it is. For a reason, I didn't win. It was a point, and it was good. I mean, I had a lot of fun.
Have you ever that dude? That's really cool. You've never told me these stories before. Um, I didn't know you got that far. That's pretty crazy. Um,
I didn't believe it either. Everything that start has a joke. Everything that start literally has
literally,
a
it's a
joke.
joke. Yeah,
Everything that start with a joke. It was a stupid joke, and then it bumped into the next level, and it bumped into the next level, and then I made another one. It bumped into the next level until I was one of the four candidates. But you know what? Um, I did not realize how serious this was until I land in LA. When I land in LA, that was this person from the radio station waiting for me. You know, like when they have the little sign, like when the important people has the little sign with your name and last name on it, like
hmm.
they're up in the exit of the airport, and they have that was this guy, and it has Gabriel Ramos, and I'm like, oh my god, this means like, are you Gabriel? And I'm like, yes. I'm like, okay, come on, we gotta go. Okay, so I jumping into this car with an stranger, and the whole time he's telling me, okay, you're very lucky, but you need to show a lot. Okay, they're expecting a lot from you guys, so this is a big deal. Like the company's putting a lot of money into this show, and the fact that they're paying for you guys for a hotel, they're paying for you guys for professional comedians to mentor you. They're paying for food and everything. You guys are here for a reason. You've been selected. You won over 1,000 people. So you better be good. You better be serious on this.
Yeah.
And then it clicked. I'm like, oh shit. I I thought it was just coming to have fun. I thought it was just no, it was a real thing. And one that was a lot of surprises through the week, but one of the big surprises that impact me through the week is on the third day on the third day of that week, they call us to the station and they say, okay, there is a meeting going on, and in this meeting all the CCOs, um, you know, all the important people, even the owner of the station is in the meeting. And I want you guys to go in and interrupt the meeting and say something funny. Those guys inside the meeting, they're stressed, they're tired, they're dealing with a lot of problems. They are the ones who hold and sustain this billionaire company.
Yeah.
So it's very important, people, right there. So I want you to go in and interrupt the meeting and make them laugh so they can tell the money that they're putting in right now, it will worth it. Dude, I was like, fuck no. There's too much. There's no way that we can do that. You're looking at four stupid guys just telling jokes on the station for fun. And now we were about to interrupt a big meeting with all the important people just because they needed to know who we are. And with that being said, they grab us and they say, okay, let's go. Think about a joke, and boom, you're going to tell something. And just exactly what I told you, you need to look for a target. That's exactly what it was. When we step in, okay, so this guy opened the doors of the meeting. Everyone who is in the meeting, they look at the door and says, who in the fuck is this? Who is interrupting us? And the guy comes in and says, hey, listen, sorry about interrupting. Sir, those are the four candidates that you're pouring your money into to create the Hollywood Improv event this Friday night, and they want to say something. Go ahead, guys. Dude, I wish I couldn't see my face, but I mean, I didn't pee on my pants, so I didn't poop in my pants because I was blessed. I mean, because God was just on my side that day or something.
What did you
But
say to him?
I noticed, okay, so I noticed that one guy that when I step in, him and I at somehow just kind of like click eye to eye, and I can see that he's upset. I can tell that he went like, like when you're interrupting and or you bother someone, they can just see like, oh my god, like, you can just see his face was upset, was disappointed, right? So back in the days when I was making comedy, I mean, when I was creating a line, I create a line that is really stupid, but it's worth it several times because I was saying something like, okay, so listen, thank you all for coming tonight. That was like part in the beginning, right? Like, thank you all for coming tonight. My name is Gay, whatever. And listen, all you guys right here are nice, good looking people. You know how I know that? Because in the door, in the main entrance door, there is this sensor, okay? And if you are a nice, good-looking people, the sensor won't say anything. But if you're a mean, if you're an asshole, and if you're ugly, that thing will buzz. When you step in, like, bzzz, that means that you're not a good-looking, happy, lovely person, okay? And so nobody wanted it to start. So what I did is that I step in and I'm like, hey, everyone, my name is Gabe. Sorry for interrupting. That must be a really good meeting. But we need to work on something because I know for a fact that right here in your door, okay, this is a good looking place, but in hitting your door, that was like a little box, right? That was like this little box on the top of the door, though, Rob. And I said, that little box on the top of the door, and everybody looked at it like, okay, what the fuck, dude? There is a box right there. So technically, you guys don't know, but there's a sensor uh, that will allow you to step in this meeting as long as you are a good-looking, positive, energetic person. And it's smart, right? But apparently, and I'm walking, okay, as I'm talking to them, I'm walking to the guy I'm walking towards that asshole, and when I got to him, I pat him in the back. Okay, after I said, yeah, if you are a good looking, energetic, positive person, that thing will not pass on you when you step in. But apparently, and I tap him back, I said, today's not working. We need to check that shit up. And everybody just started laughing so hard because I'm obviously telling this guy that he's a fucking jerk, he's not a good looking, and he's an ass. But I didn't say anything,
Yeah.
inappropriate. I just said it on a nicely way. And the guy was looking at me and he like, that was a good one, man. That was a good one. And when I said the Rob and I saw the people reaction, that was like the breaking ice, like, they're like, oh my God. And the other three guys didn't really say too much. You can tell they were panicking. You can tell they were like really shy, looking down and everything. And everyone said, "You're gonna take it. This is a piece of cake. This is so natural. You got this." I mean, those
Yeah.
guys doesn't have too much. It's all yours. You're gonna be the big winner. Everyone was expecting for me to take the $10,000 and walk away, and then just you know put them in my pocket, and just didn't work.
So, dude, I like that story. So I have about 10 minutes left
Right.
of this thing. I wanted to bring up one last story.
Okay.
So this is another theater story.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm ready for it.
Do you remember that somebody left a bomb by Pearl Harbor?
Oh! Yes, I did. Yes, I
Okay.
remember that.
Okay, I will tell what I know of the story, and then you could tell what you.
Oh shit! Don't tell me you did that.
No, no, no.
Oh, okay.
So what happened
Okay.
was, so this is what I remember. Okay, so
Okay.
like you got on the radio and you said there's a bomb by Pearl Harbor, and we had the movie Pearl Harbor had just come out, and
Right.
it was 2001. So what it was, it Josh Hartnett in the movie, whatever. Anyway, we're all confused. We're like, what's he talking about? And then it goes out, there's a bomb, there's a bomb. And so people are, yeah, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody's like, yeah, there's bombs in Pearl Harbor. It's about a,
Right.
attack. And you were like, no, someone set a bomb, and so they end up finding a tank, like some sort of like tank,
Right.
like auction tank type thing, but it was like
Yes.
it was right outside of the door,
It
right?
was outside the door.
It was
Yes.
pressed against the of the auditorium where Pearl Harbor was
Yes.
playing,
Right.
and so they end up evacuating the theater.
Yes.
And I remember everyone evacuates or evacuated, and then didn't the bomb squad show up?
Yes, they did.
And
Yes.
they had like a robot,
Yes, they did.
and you tried to get a camera to film the robot, and then they wanted, was the film, like, you keep the film or something, like somehow you were able to keep the film?
No, I don't have the film. Okay, so what happened was, yes, Pearl Harbor was playing on the movie theater, and I remember that we used to walk outside the movie theater just to check for either garbage or doors propped open because people sneaking in, right? So I'm doing a walkthrough outside the property, outside the building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's kind of chilly. I'm out, and as I'm walking to, in the back, this place is yeah, this door was facing Goodwill. I think it's Goodwill now. There's a Goodwill built right there, whatever. And I can see these little box, and I'm like, huh, this thing wasn't here like earlier today or yesterday or something, because I'm usually one of the ones who does the walkthrough. So this is weird. And as I approach, I know someone was there with me. I cannot remember who. But anyways, I can see something and looks weird, looks like a tank. Yeah, you're right, looks like a tank or something. And then, dude, we're young, man. I mean, we fucking had marbles and butterflies just flying inside our heads. And I picture this as a bomb. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a bomb. And I found it. So I make the call. Theo, I remember Theo came up to look at it. And you can tell Theo is coming like, oh fuck, here's Gabe. I mean, now what the fuck is Gabe doing, right? You can just tell that he's not
He didn't believe
it's
you.
not in my side.
Yeah.
But when he look at it, he's like, oh shit, wait, I think we got something. He called Jim Traffler, he called other people, and then they make the call. And they said, we need to evacuate the building. We don't know what this thing is. Gabe found it. Who knows? It can be a bomb. Yes. It can be
Yeah.
nothing. Right. But we need to evacuate the building. So Theo gives the order, and Jim Traffler gives the order to evacuate the building. And we run in, and we step in and interrupt pretty much the movie and says, "Listen, everyone!" I'm just start like yelling. I'm like, "Okay, everyone, listen up. We have a situation going on. We need to evacuate the building. So please, let's go." And people doesn't believe me. First of all, I don't think they understood what I said.
That would have been my
Yeah, like, okay, what the fuck is this guy saying? So I don't think the people really understood um, what I was saying. And then I went like, andale, andale, let's go. Like, I'm trying to hustle people out. And then people start walking out. Like, what's going on? I said, I cannot tell you what's going on. We got a situation going on. We need to evacuate the building through the front of the building, by the front of the building. But how about my movie? How about this? I mean, they will give you like they give us like a roll of lost red tickets. So we were handing them over for the people as a payback or something. They call 911. The and yes, the bomb squad show up, and they actually we were in the news, dude. We were in the news, but I was kind of upset because my name wasn't there. They should have said "gay found it" or something,
I
motherfuckers.
think they should have said that because it wasn't a bomb, right? It was
It wasn't
oxygen
a
tank.
bomb. It was a tank, but it looks like a bomb. It was fun, right?
I I remember hearing the stories from people about that they came and talked to you because you went and got a camera and you were trying to film them with the robot, and then they
Yes,
came and talked to you, and if I remember right, they wanted the camera, but then you snuck the film out of the camera. Like there was some
right.
story where you were so proud of yourself that you snuck the film away from the SWAT team or whatever the and it,
Okay.
go ahead, sorry.
First of all, I remember I used to live in the apartment complex across the movie theater.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I went over to my place. I went over to my apartment and grabbed this a video camera.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'll be right back. And they saw me like, what's going on? I said, there's a bomb in the movie theater. I'll be right back. And everybody was like my family was like, what? A bomb in the movie theater? I'm like, yes, I found it. And the bomb team is there, so I'm gonna film. Because I was like in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna see them blowing out, like, and the whole thing is just
You
gonna
thought
like
you were gonna film a giant.
I thought that the whole thing was gonna just like getting fired or something, just bodies everywhere and blood everywhere. So I'm like, I want
Yeah,
to
good thing
film
you
this,
grabbed your
right?
camera.
And I was filming. They came up to me, they approached me, and they were interrogating me because since I'm the one who found it, and they were asking me a lot of questions, and I said, no, I didn't see nobody around. I was just walking, just, the perimeter of the building, and that thing was just right there. So I thought it was important to report it. And yeah, nothing happened. But I honestly don't know what happened to the video. I think I lost it.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I remember another part of that is that I remember hearing D'Artagnan telling me that he remembers everyone being evacuated and all that stuff. And he said he was in charge of making sure everything, like all the movies were shut down properly and everything. And he said that he was the last person to get out of the building. And I guess it was like 15 minutes after everyone else had left.
Right.
And then he was like, "What? Wait, what's going on?" And then there was a bomb in the building. And he was like, "Oh my God, you guys had the black guy go make sure turned off." And he goes, "And nobody told me what's going on." And he goes, "My safety, like your safety." And yeah, dude, that just adds another story to the movie theater. Oh, man.
Fun times, Rob. Fun times, dude. Yeah.
Well, hey, dude, I appreciate you doing this for like, my first episode, and we'll have to do this again sometime soon and have more stories and catch up with you. Should
Totally.
continue pursuing your comedy, man. Like, have you ever thought about doing like a Patreon or something?
I'm thinking I would like. Okay, I have tried Latino or Spanish or Hispanic stand up, and it did okay. It did okay. I mean, I have to admit it. Some good shows, some bad shows. I guess it's just like everyone. But this time, I would like to throw some lines on English, just
Mhm.
to give it a try, just to taste it, just to see what it's
Yeah.
that about. So I have a few lines written down and saving my phone, and one of those days I'm just gonna throw them out. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna spit it all out and see
Keep
what's
me
up.
posted.
I will totally.
But
Totally.
thanks again, man. It was nice catching up with you, and
Same here, dude.
hopefully this recorded correctly. We don't have to.
All right. Well, we'll see. You tell me, keep me posted. I wish you luck, and it was a pleasure to share this time with you. And looking forward to hear from you soon, my friend.
Likewise, dude. Much love to you.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Hey, take it easy, man. Peace out.
Later. Bye.
Bye bye.